everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have in front of me a Cymbidium plant. It's not in good shape, but it is in good shape. I'll tell you why. What happened was it got a cold damage. All the pseudobulbs, see, all the leaves came off, everything died. This was the only 2 leaf left on it, and I didn't throw it out. I kept it as it is, and this was like a winter of last year that this all died down, so I brought it inside. This is actually not my plant. This is my somebody that I know, it's their plant. So I brought it and they were ready to throw it out, so I said let me give it a try. So I kept it in a warm area, and it put out this new spike a few weeks ago, and I see another spike coming right here. So now this plant is pretty much pot bound or root bound, whatever you want to call it. So I got this hammer, and I have this soft material that I have my orchid sitting on, because I am gonna pretty much hammer this plant, not the plant itself but the pot, ever so lightly, and I don't want to damage the table, and that's why it's sitting on this soft material. It's gonna be a little messy, but has to be done. So this is just to loosen up this plant from the pot, because there's no way that I can manually loosen it. It could squeeze. Maybe I should take it out, but it's still got a very freezing outside, and oh, here we go. So it's out of the pot. It's not bad. Oh, maybe it is bad. I don't know. I have to try. I'm gonna have to take all these out. See what bad. I never really grow or buy Cymbidiums, because they do get little tall, and I really don't have room for it in my house unless I put them outside. But then I still had to bring them inside for the winter, and I don't have a greenhouse or any place like that where I can keep them for the winter. So it's really hard for me to keep growing like I won't say hard. If I want to, I should be able to do it, because I have room upstairs where I can keep them. But it's just that it's a little too big for me, I think. So I never really buy them. So with Cymbidiums, they have thick, fleshy, succulent type of roots, and they're terrestrial orchids. So what I'm going to do right now is going to remove all these old roots, and have a pair of sterilized scissors, and they all look plump and healthy, so I don't know if there's any root in here that needs to be cut. Now there are 2 kinds of Cymbidium. This is the cool growing variety, so it can take temperatures up to about 40 degrees. Especially the drop in temperature helps this plant, the Cymbidium, to flower, to bloom. And there is a warm growing variety as well of the Cymbidiums, and the flowers, I think, on those are smaller. And these should put out long spikes, tall, long spikes, the beautiful flowers on them. So. And all these old pseudobulbs that lost its leaves, I had to try and see if I can clean them up. All these dead roots, it just needs to be cut off. Don't worry about the roots if you cut too many of them, because they're like the cattleyas. They like to have the root. They'll put out new roots when the old roots are cut out, so it's okay. It's not gonna damage them. But make sure you don't cut out the new roots from the new growth. Just make sure the older roots, and if you think, if you're not sure if the roots are good or bad, just leave it, don't cut it, it won't hurt them, but don't cut the new growth, new roots too. These, see, these leaves, roots are, see, all the element comes off, so those no good for the plant. It's sort of old damaged roots. I cut that off because it was just stuck to the old Alright, so what I did so far was I washed this hosted down really good. Tried to get as many pieces of the bark out as possible. See, it's coming out now that it's wet. You don't have to take them all out. There's nothing really wrong with the roots. It's just the cold that caused damage to this particular plant. So I cut off a lot of the old roots, dry root that were no good. And every plant, when after a certain age, after a certain number of time, it does that. I've gonna sterilize my scissors. I'm gonna I don't think I need to cut any more. I don't think so. You don't have to do it really that much. And all I did was spray it with hydrogen peroxide, 3%. This is just if there's any snail or anything in there, just to get it out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse the same pot that it was originally. It's the same, because Cymbidiums like to have a tall pot, and I really don't have tall pots because I really, like I said, don't grow or buy any Cymbidium or Cymbidium pots. So I washed it down. I washed it really good. Put some of this styrofoam at the base, and I'm going to put some sphagnum moss. I'm going to put some, this is dry for the foot now, that's okay. I'll just water it down. So just to let the bottom, so that it won't block the holes or anything. And also this is a terrestrial plant, so I got this mix. It's a Cymbidium orchid mix. So I got this from Repot Me. I'm gonna try to see if I can put this plant in here, and gonna lower it into this pot. And like I said, I'm going to reuse the same pot because I don't have a bigger pot. If I need to, I'll cut down a lot of the roots so they can fit in there. If it doesn't fit, I'll trim it down. So maybe I'll just trim a lot of the bottom roots off, so that they fit in there. And these, I hate to do this, are nice firm roots, but I don't know, I'm just going to do it. So just hoping that they'll fit in here. So I trimmed down the bottom of the roots a lot. See, if you see, I just cut it down, like just used the sterilized scissors and just went over it and just trimmed it down. That's all I did. Just so that it would fit in this pot really easily. So I have some sphagnum moss and a few peanuts at the bottom of the Let's try to see if I can lower it. Now when I went to wash this plant, I noticed it had a lot more growth tips on it than I originally thought. So let me show you. The first one is right here. See, I wanna, this one right here. Then I was debating whether to cut off these two rhizomes, these two bulbs, and I noticed there's another hidden eye or nubbin, whatever you want to call it, right here, and I'm not sure if it'll grow, but so I didn't cut off the old soda bulb, so I left it as it is. This one I could probably take it off with the, let me get a sharp, not that one. So I have like this. I'm scared to cut this because it might be. Okay, it came out. It did come out. So this, let me spray some hydrogen peroxide in that area where I just cut it. Anything that needs to be cleaned, this is a good time to clean it. Take a look at your plant, see what else needs to be taken out. I could remove all these old dry sheets that's around these plants. See, this is a good time because it's out of the pot. See what all is going on and do what needs to be done. If it's really hard to get in between these areas, and if you think you cannot do it, just let it be. It's only tidying up. It's not gonna help or hurt the plant in any way if you leave it on. So be careful not to cut the new growth because that would not be nice. I am playing a dangerous game right here, but trying to cut these off. I hope I don't cut the new growth. That's all I'm. It's got some dry stuff in there. It's just bothering me just to see it like that. It doesn't matter, like I said, if you leave it on. So this is where you have to be careful with the new growth. You do not want to cut that off. Very careful, the new growths are on either side of the soda bulb. So this one looks like the soda bulb is dried up. It feels like it's dry. It's not. Anyways, hydrogen peroxide it. It's not going to damage or hurt it in any way. So for the bigger, it's just hard to cut. If you do feel like you want to clean up some more, just use the bigger pruners to cut it down. This plant only has 2 leaves right now, and one of them is pretty much bent, and I'm not even bothering to cut that now because that should help the plant to photosynthesize for now. So whatever leaves is left, let it be, because I know it looks horrible because it's falling down, like it's bent, but it's okay. So I think I pretty much a lot of cleaning off done. So let's see what we have left now. So I just want to spray some more hydrogen peroxide just for now. So I have here some Orchids, plain Orchid bark that is separate, and here I have this orchid mix, Cymbidium mix that I got from repotme.com. So I'm going to pour a little bit of each into the pot and mix it up. So as I'm placing it, I want to make sure that all the roots go in properly, and I have to make sure that the older pseudobulb goes to this end, even though I see that this one is putting out, even though I see it's got a new eye over there. And so, but I'll try to see if I can do it like this, so there's more room on this one, because there's 1, 2, 3 new growths, and there's another one right here. So I want to give more room for these to grow better than this one at the back, because this one I'm not sure if it'll even do any better. And be careful when you're holding it, not to hold it by the new growth, because that could break it. And believe me, I have done it. So start filling it up. And also gonna mix it in with this one too, because Cymbidiums are terrestrial orchids, and this is a mix of perlite, and I see some kind of I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna mix it. I'm not sure if this is cocoa peat. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, that's the mix that repotme has sent, and they're pretty. Their mixes are pretty good. I never had a problem with that too. And the only reason why I put in some bark is because I thought this media won't be enough, so that's why I thought I'll add some extra bark, just so that it could. This is a big pot. Give it a good tap a few times just to make sure that the media goes in, because this is wherever it's wet, this media is just like clinging to that area. So. Even the media itself is dry. It's just that I had sprayed hydrogen peroxide on the plant, and it's just sticking to those wet areas. So another way to make sure the media goes down is to give the pot a good squeeze, and if there's any air gaps, it could go down. And go all the way down to the roots and in between the roots so that they won't leave any air gaps. Just all I'm doing right now is just making sure, just pushing the media in down, making sure that there are no gaps anywhere. And the bigger the plant, the harder it is to replant, and the smaller the plant, it's easier to repot. But for me, it feels like the bigger plants take to the repotting a lot faster and a lot easier than the new seedlings or little plants. Because you probably have to baby the big seedlings a little bit more than the big mature plants. So this should do it. I'll give it a nice tap. Squeeze it all the way down. Make sure it's all filled in, that there's no gaps. Everything should be nice and firm, and I'm gonna water this plant in. Oh, I want to make sure that I don't cover this new growth right here. That one right there. So quick watering, and that's it. And also don't forget to put the label back in. This particular one is from Waldorf Orchids, and the name is Cymbidium Lovely Moon Crescent. I remember this was like a yellow flower. So we got this from one of the orchid shows when we went a couple of years ago, from Waldorf Orchids. They come to these orchid shows and we buy it from there. So that's where we got it from a couple of years ago. So hopefully this will do a good job with the transplant and do a good take off really easy, good for me. And that's it. And like I said, I'm not going to cut this leaf off now because I want to leave it as it is and make sure the plant that's good. Okay, thank you everybody. I know it's a long video and I hope I didn't bore you with this, but it's tiresome. It took so much of my time, and in between I had phone calls. So because I'm working from home now because of this coronavirus, so I had calls coming in. So anyway, I had to edit this. So thank you. Give me please subscribe to my channel if you like it. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and subscribe so you can see more of my videos. Thank you everybody. Have a good day and bye.